Hello, 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 hello. Trying to go live in, all my places right now. So, hi, happy Friday. My lighting is whacked today because I set it all up for me sitting down and I'm standing up. So, go figure. Hello. I'm just going to wait a second, see if people come on, say hello. Say hello if you're here. Yeah. Hi. You guys know the drill. Say hi if you're here. We got lots of juicy stuff to talk about today. Whoop, whoop. Just trying to get myself all situated. Sorry for the weird lighting. I just can't fuss around with it anymore. Hello, Katie. Hello, Michael. How has your week been? Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing? Tell me what's happening in your world of adoption. Okay. I know. My lighting is all strange today. That's all right. We're going to just roll with it. That's the beauty of live. At least I'm on time. Okay. Hi, everybody. I hear ya. There are definitely weeks like that for sure. Hi, Katie. Hi, friends. I love it. All right, I'm Rebecca Gruenspan, live on the adoption roadmap, whatever. And this week we're going to be recapping what conversations have come up, what's been going on in adoption land, at least in the world of RG adoption land. So here we go. First things first. Oh, that's weird. Okay. Why is that doing? Okay. Hold on one second. That's not what I meant to do. I meant to do this. If you're on IG, you're not seeing all my tech stuff that's happening over on YouTube and on Facebook. But okay, first thing, needing new photos for your profile. What to wear and how to stand out. Yeah, what to wear. So I suggest, first of all, let me back up for a second. We're going to talk about profile. We're going to talk about feelings after a match. What happens if a baby's born and with something that you are not prepared for? What happens when your family is not being supportive? We're going to talk a little bit about adoption fundraising. That came up this week, as well as gifts for a birth mom. So those are awesome conversations that have been going on in our world this week. And so I want to address some of them. First one being needing new photos for your profile. You guys, this is the one thing that stands between you and being chosen by an expectant mom. Do not get frustrated and say, that's all I've got. Work with it. If you're getting feedback that you need better photos or the text isn't right, I know I've talked about this before. I understand that a lot of times we're emotionally attached to things and you have to just detach a little bit to really take a step back and look at what's going to matter to her the most. And good pictures are really going to make you stand out. So if you are scheduling a photo shoot, and I highly recommend you do, make sure that you have, and you can get this done in probably 30 minutes, make sure you have a change of outfits, because one thing you don't want is photos of you all in the same outfit so that it is very clear that you just did a photo shoot. Girls, you might have some with your hair up, some with your hair down, change your outfits, be active. Do things that you enjoy. If you are into yoga, put on some yoga pants, pull out a mat and get into a pose. If you like to cook, be in your kitchen and be pulling something out of the oven or be chopping something and look at the camera. Do things that show her the types of activities that you enjoy. While getting a good picture. And there obviously can be some pictures where you are looking straight to the camera and posing, but more so you want to show personality. So different outfits, different scenarios. Think about it ahead of time. Think about what you want to capture, and where you have gaps. Don't just go into a photo shoot saying, oh, we need some good photos. Know what photos you need, where the gaps are with your other photos, so that you can kind of plan out where you're going to be and what you're going to wear. Make sense? Anybody have any comments about that? While I take a sip of water, let's see who's joined us. Romina, Eviana, Bella, Mother of Hounds. I love that. Save Grace Adoption, Rebecca. I'm Rebecca too. Love that. Fergie Ferg is in the house. Does that resonate? Or maybe you're past that. So let's go on to the next thing. Let's see. Feelings after a match. There are lots of feelings, and I think you probably feel everything. After a match, you are probably at your highest. If things don't work out, you are at your lowest, or if things do work out, you're elated and you're feeling everything in between. And I think that the one thing that everybody has in common after they are matched is that that's when fear kicks into high gear. Can I get an amen? Can you relate? Have you felt fear after a match? Michael has a great photographer in the New York City area if anybody is looking. That's great. Or you can get them really cheap too on like shooter.com or something and only pay for the pictures you buy. Anyways, amen. I got an amen in there. After a match, fear kicks in, or even sometimes even presenting for a match, fear kicks in. And some of the things you might be nervous about. You might be worried about her situation. And take it a step further, her situation, what she's going through, and how that's affecting the baby that will hopefully be your baby in the future. So how to deal with an expectant mother who is homeless, right? How are you internalizing that, and how are you taking that on? That's a lot for you to be taking on as one of your as something to add to your worry and your fear. Fear that it's not going to go through, or that it might fall through. Fear that something might happen to the baby. There's so much fear that you might not know what to do with this baby after they are born. Fear of not having experience changing diapers and having to do that in front of the birth mom for the first time, and that she might judge you. Fear of that first, sitting in the hospital room with her, and what are you going to talk about? There's so much that can start to derail you and get you on the fear path. And so this is, and another piece of that also is the agency sharing too much or not enough during that match? Sometimes, and I recently made this mistake as well, sometimes we share too much because, something is concerning to us, or as professionals, I say us as adoption professionals, that maybe is not useful information for you at the time, knowing that you are at your highest peak as far as emotional roller coasters. And so giving you information that may derail you is of no use to you. And sometimes agencies will just share every little thing with you that you think you want to know, but maybe it's better that you don't, because it's not going to be useful for you. And on the other hand, some agencies, you're pulling teeth. You're like, have you had a conversation with her? What, you want to know all the things and all the details. So there is that kind of balance between agencies sharing too much during this period, or not enough. And so you want to strike a good balance there. So I think after a match, you really want to have a conversation with your caseworker to set up maybe a communication plan, how often you'll be in communication. It's also going to depend on how long the match is. Maybe you tell her, if you find out something that's really not going to be useful for me to know, or that's going to maybe put me in a tailspin, I would love for you to protect me a little bit in this too, depending on your relationship with her. But I know that you feel like you want to know every little single detail, and sometimes it's just not a good idea, especially if a lot of times we'll share something just that we are thinking based on what we're seeing, but it's maybe not fact yet. That we don't know where it's going to go, and we're speculating. Maybe that's a better word. Sometimes we speculate out loud, and we really should not be doing that if it's not useful. I forgot my shiny lip gloss. I hope you'll still listen. And making sure that she is being well taken care of course. And then you have to just trust your team that they are doing what they need to do, and not worry about every little detail at that point. And if your expectant mom is pulling you in because you have direct contact and asking you for money, or saying she doesn't have food or a way to get somewhere, you must involve the agency. Don't take that on yourself. You should not be. I'm adjusting a little bit here. Okay. Let's see, what else was I going to share after that? I think that's it. Do you guys have anything to say about that? I don't know if that's, that came up. Just trying to, I think the biggest thing, I know what I want to say. I think I want to be useful, not just sharing information. I think that the biggest thing here is to make sure, first and foremost, that you are taking care of you. Hopefully you have a team in place that you trust, who is taking care of the expectant mother and all the things. Hopefully you're having healthy dialogue and getting updated on what you need to get updated on. And then take care of you. Don't put your life on hold. Keep doing what you are doing. And give yourself a little extra self-love. And this is a great period of time where an adoption therapist will come into play. This is like prime example of where an adoption competent therapist can help you from falling off the ledge and really spiraling down the fear path. I did a virtual play date today with some of our families who recently adopted. And they were talking about just how important and how much of a lifeline the therapist was that we recommended to them. And at first she was really a little bit ashamed and didn't want to think that she needed a therapist. And it ended up being her lifeline throughout the journey, and somebody she called multiple times. And this is a great example of when you might need an adoption competent therapist. All right, the next one. What happens if a baby is born with something that you were not expecting and you just don't think you can handle? Nobody wants you to take that on. No agency wants you to adopt a baby that you don't think you are prepared to parent. Now, there's going to be things that come up that all of us feel that way at some point. But from the get-go, if there is some sort of, something wrong physically or cognitively, or there's, some sort of special needs that arises, you are not obligated to move forward, nor do we want you to if you cannot handle it. So you can absolutely be honest. It would be the hardest thing that you have done probably thus far, and hopefully it won't happen. I think in 8.5 years, I've seen it happen twice. And know that pretty much in every case, they will find a parent that can handle the situation. And if they do, most likely you'll get, the finances will take care of itself if another family steps up. But there might be a loss. There might be a financial loss, but I would hate to see anybody parent a child that they just were not expecting to, nor do they think they can handle. So hopefully that eases your mind a little bit. Next thing that came up, and please ask any questions you want in the chat. I will do my best to answer them on the fly. This breaks my heart, and it happens. My family isn't supportive. In fact, some families have just been downright mean and ugly. And this is where you need so much. You need to look inward, and you need to be strong in your conviction. You need to be educated enough. Listen to why aren't they supportive? Sometimes it's just because they are holding on to fear and they don't want to see their baby get hurt. So is that why they are reacting that way? Maybe they are reacting like that because they are not educated, and so they have a fantasy or a story that they have made up about what adoption is and isn't, which maybe is a myth. And maybe that myth needs to be busted. Maybe invite them to sit in on a class and start learning themselves. And if you need to take a step back and separate yourself from said family members for the time being in hopes that they might come around later, then do that. It comes back to taking care of yourself throughout this journey. It is so, so important. Again, an adoption therapist. This is another great example of why you might need an adoption therapist to help you work through some of those, or in some cases, bringing family members in and helping you mediate those conversations. Because it is difficult for a family to understand. You are immersed in adoption education. They are not. And also just leaning on your adoption community. I can't tell you how important it is to be in a community of like-minded people who get it, because oftentimes that is not our family because of everything I just said. So families could be very well-intentioned also, and just not get it. So it's really important for you to just be in community with people who understand firsthand what you are going through in every step of the process, so that you can feel supported and held up through them as well. That's one of the areas that a lot of people find that surprises them at the end, is just how much community meant to them when they didn't think they needed it. And I'm preaching to the choir right now because you're all here. There are so many people that I wish they would just tap in to see how important it is. So on the same note, it kind of takes me into adoption fundraising. There are a lot of people out there who just don't have the upfront money that it takes to adopt, and they desperately want to, for all the reasons that they have that they want to adopt. And a lot of people out there are naysayers and will judge you and will comment and will give you all their opinions. Thank you very much. I did not ask you for it, about how they feel about you adopting, or that you should not be adopting if you can't afford it. It drives me nuts, because, there's one thing about coming up with $50,000 right away. Who has that lump sum of money? Not very many people. Versus being able to support a child in your life financially, ongoing. And many people can do that when it's spread out. So I guess arm yourself a little bit if you are going to do some adoption fundraising, because more people will love on you than not. But it only takes that one person to derail you, and don't let it derail you. Again, be strong in your conviction, do what you need to do and that you're comfortable with, and do it without apology. And again, lean on your community, because fundraising does work. I've seen some people beyond grants and loans really have some great success with fundraising. So if that's something you are counting on, do it and know that you may get people that think that it's now, you've opened the doors to them sharing their opinions with you, for better or for worse. Okay, a gift for your birth mom. And I say birth mom because typically you are presenting a gift after she has signed. It's great to write her a personal letter as well. And then you want to have a gift. And so there is a big question. Fun chat boy, I see you. Thank you for calling me sexy, but you are probably a little inappropriate. And yeah, probably shouldn't be on here. I'll report you later, though, if you become more inappropriate. Yeah, if anybody's on IG and sees this guy, you can go ahead and report him. That would be great. I'll do it later. Hold on one second. Fun_chat_boy 0987. 0987 is just paying me all sorts of compliments on IG. So you want to have a gift for your birth mom. And the question has come up, is jewelry appropriate or is jewelry not appropriate? Some women do not like to wear jewelry, or some women, if they're wearing a necklace and somebody might come up and ask them, oh, what's that about? It might make them feel a certain way or put on the spot to answer that question. And so maybe you might not want to get jewelry. Maybe there are other ideas. There are a million ideas out there and a million amazing Etsy shops for birth mother gifts. So I would recommend you supporting local. Solace is another one. Solace Adoption Gifts. You can Google it. They have amazing birth mom boxes that they've put together that are really pampering and lovely. So that's another idea. But jewelry can be great. You might just want to ask your caseworker, does she like jewelry? Or if you get to know her, find that out. So jewelry or not, I don't know if you have an opinion on that. Let's see. Thanks, Michael, for engaging. So that's what I have got today. If you are on your adoption roadmap, stay focused, stay solid in your decision, and keep moving forward. If you get derailed, there are lots of tools for you to help you get back on your roadmap. And we are supporting you every step of the way. If there's anything else we can answer for you, please don't hesitate to ask. Thank you so much for joining me this week, as you do every week. And I will see you next Friday, same time, same place, on the Adoption Roadmap. Take care, guys. Have a great weekend.